Hey everyone, this is Shalini Joshi Amdagni, and in this video I wanted to talk about challenges and chaos. And we are all familiar with this, especially with COVID and the pandemic, and we've all been through all kinds of challenges and chaos. And whenever we have challenges and chaos, we have all seen that they shake us up, they wake us up, and eventually they cause or create some positive change, even though initially it just doesn't feel like this was necessary or this was needed or this was something we wished would happen, right? But I'm sure you've experienced challenges and chaos, and you've seen over time how that eventually had a positive impact in some way. But even though we know that, right, we all resist changes, challenges, and chaos. And I recently had this experience, which is why I am sharing my experience. So I've been writing my book. It's been 1.5 years. I finally completed it. Now the book cover was, being finalized. I was at that stage now. And just a few days back, I posted, the book cover has been through its process of a couple of weeks of being, picking, selecting, deleting, and finally coming up with a bunch of images that I felt with my graphic designer were resonating with my perspective, my idea of the book, which is on chronic pain. And so I was excited and I thought, let me get some feedback on what others think. And I posted it on Facebook 2 days ago. It's still there, you can go see it. And I posted it on a few of my WhatsApp groups, and there were 4 or 5 images, and people started commenting on the image they liked and the emotions it was evoking for them, and so on and so forth. So as I sat at the end of the day going through all the different feedback and comments and seeing what was the popular image that everybody was going for, there was about 100 comments, and as I went through each one, I saw one comment that said that she didn't like the image, she thought it was very ordinary, and if there were other books on pain relief, she would not even look at this. There's nothing that strikes her about any part of this book cover that she finds interesting. So I read that, and immediately I felt like I'd been crucified, and I felt bad, I felt upset, and I wanted to dismiss that comment because there were 100 others that were giving positive feedback. And so I left it and I went back to it. I couldn't ignore it. Let's put it that way. And I try to explain to her in that conversation, which is still there, that I think that the reason I put this specific images because of whatever reasons I told her. And she said, I understand, but you can have better images, conveying the same message. And so I was so restless with this, and I wanted to just defend it because, I had already worked for weeks, deleting and cutting out images that we had decided, no, not this one, and finally after a few weeks of going back and forth, this was the image. And now that world was crumbling down for me because of this one comment. And I felt like this book cover is not good enough. Everything is falling apart in my life. I am falling apart. Oh my God, oh my God. So I took her comment and I shared it with a few of my inner circle of friends. And I said, hey, what do you think? And they said, you know what? We actually agree with her because this image is, you've seen it many times. And so they seemed to agree with her. And I said, why didn't you say so before? And they thought, like, this is what I've come up with. So they have no choice but to pick one of them. And here was this girl who was challenging me. And luckily, I took her comment and shared it. And my dearest friends agreed. So this was my chaos and my challenge after weeks of working on this. It was like, I have to start over and begin again. And it's so uncomfortable. It's so painful. It feels like such a hard route to take when I can just pick one, ignore the comment and move on. But here's what I'm still working on this new book cover, but what I have learned from this one experience by just one comment that challenged me and that created chaos in my little world was that, we tend to think that when our ideas are challenged and when our perspective is challenged, our work is challenged, that we are being like we're falling apart somehow. But that's not true. It's the work that's being challenged. You're not falling apart. The work is falling apart. The perspective is falling apart. The idea is falling apart, but you're not falling apart. But we kind of associate it together. And what happens is when we think that I am my work, I am my perspective, I am my idea, I am, my book cover. Then when somebody challenges us and we associate it with this is my identity, right? We don't distance ourselves with, oh, she's challenging this thing out there. I am different and the book cover is different and we're not one. I am not my book cover. So when we attach ourselves to this, to this idea that I am my idea, I am my perspective, I am my book cover, then when somebody challenges us, we try to defend ourselves. We resist, we defend, and we don't allow that challenge and that chaos to create something even better, right? And so what I've realized now is that when you experience change and you experience challenge and you experience chaos, instead of thinking like my world is falling apart, I am falling apart, what if you could retrain your brain to say, oh, I'm being challenged. This idea is falling apart. New and better is on its way. Yay, new and better is on its way. So what is going on in your life where you're being challenged and you feel like your world is falling apart and there's chaos? And how can you tweak your mindset to shift your attitude towards challenges and chaos and instead think new and better is possibly on its way? Well, that's what I wanted to share about chaos and challenge. I hope if you're meant to listen to this, you listen to this and it helps you in some way. Thanks for listening. I'll see you in my next video. Bye for now.